Hey there, this is Shawn here from OQLIS. I get asked a lot of times, what is OQLIS about, and really about how we are different from anybody else in the market. So I thought just for our partners, I'd create this quick video just around almost like an elevator pitch around what OQLIS is and how do we differentiate for our partners. So if we look at it, this is sort of the first slide in terms of high-level view of what OQLIS is, and it sort of, if you go through each of these components, you'll see how the pieces actually fit together. So firstly, when we ever meet with customers, they always want to, the first point is always about the data. How do you store the data? How do you pull it together from various different sources? So that's really the first component of what OQLIS is about, is the data. How do we ingest the data, collect the data, store the data, put it into something that can be used later? Secondly, is once you've got all the data within a database or within a data store of sorts or a data warehouse of sorts, you want to visualize it and report it. And like if everybody has worked with Excel before, you'll know that it's very difficult or very complicated to be able to see insights if you have millions of rows and columns and things like that. So you really want to bring it in a way that people can understand and can see their data and what it means. This much of that, this much that, what is the most, what is the least. And once you've actually started seeing and you've interrogated with your data, you start drilling into it, seeing what is the problem, what isn't the problem. Then you want to start doing what we call data automation. Then you want to start creating rules to it. If this happens, then do this. So that's the second component of OQLIS, is really about the data automation. How do you set up your data feeds so that you can basically within real time be able to make decisions that you don't have to, as a person, look at these dashboards all the time. Then the third thing, or the fourth thing within OQLIS, is how do we embed it? How do we put that experience so that everybody within your organization can do? How do you put it into any technology, whether it be into your website, whether it be into an application, wherever the case may be? That's where OQLIS really can shine, is putting those insights within your application. Then lastly, which is very topical at the moment, is how do you bring, you've got all the data, you've stored it, you've seen it, you've worked with it, you've automated, you've embedded it for your people, and then how do you start looking at machine learning or AI? How do you take what you've experienced in the past and put it into something that looks at the future, so that you can start saying, okay, well, I've seen this before, this is what's going to happen in the future, let's act upon it. So that's really OQLIS in a nutshell, and that would sort of be like the initial engagement with our customers to understand that. Then I want to take it down to the next level, and I'm going to start talking about what are the things that when we see a customer, what are the things that they speak about that really resonates with us or resonates with them, so that we can and they really want to engage with us. The first one is about they want to connect to many users, and this is in one company, division, many companies. So they always have this problem that they have got many users that want to do analytics, but they don't really have the licensing or the capability. So a lot of the traditional BI products sell per license or per user, and it gets very complicated very quickly and very expensive as you take more and more people on the journey. The second one is they want to connect to many data sources. They have maybe IoT data. They maybe have APIs, that they've got databases. They've got various sources that they want to connect to. And then how do they get that to work, and how expensive it does get with traditional business intelligence or ML tools. The third one is that they want to plug OQLIS into their digital spaces. They don't want to consume dashboards in a second or third or 20th application. They want to really use it in their own technology, in their own digital spaces. Then the next one is they want this whole cost-effective view. As many people know, that a lot of these things are becoming a lot more expensive as you start. You start easy. So a lot of the tools make it very easy to get going, but then as you progress within these tools, they get very expensive. Then you have to have this module, you have to have this server, you have to have that. So we keep it very simple and very easy to scale up and to be able to do all their analytical tasks. So what we call the customer data journey, and I'm going to dive into what we call the data lake. So the first thing is that when people start their customer journey, or they're in the desert, as we call it, is they are uninformed, and really they want to start getting information around the thing. So this is where the starting point of any data journey is, where do I collect my data from? Whether it be from IoT sensors, whether it be from database connections, whether it be various different data sources, how do I connect to that? The second part was when you start moving into OASIS, people start seeing a little bit of more views in terms of that, is how do you then go from the just getting the data to getting insight? So yeah, you would have to have reporting, KPIs, real-time embedded dashboards, and so forth. So this is where we start looking at what's happened in the past, looking backwards and saying this is where we've been. And then what we start doing is then we start moving up the value chain, and we go into what we call the riverbank. And the riverbank, like it means, it's quite a lot more lush. Yeah, what we do is we have business intelligence, we have bidirectional data flow and data automation. So you can start taking the people out of the decision making, and rather letting the tool push down data when you need it at the right time in real time. So this is what we call is what's happening right now, and how do you make decisions in real time right now. And then what we want to do is we want to take it a step up. And this is really where the value starts coming in, is we want to take it to what we call the lake. And like a lake, it's got euphoric properties there. It's where you bring in the whole machine learning, scenario planning, and some optimization in it. And then you start bringing back that whole data automation process from those predictive. So this is what we call is what's going to happen. We predict and we act autonomously in that situation. So really, really, like, it's an end-to-end. So if I can just picture it, have a picture of yourself. It's the end-to-end data journey that we take customers on, and that's all these components are built into OQLIS. Then this is, a lot of people consider, we talk about operational, strategic, and transformational. Operational is the day-to-day stuff. So where we'd find that is like really manufacturing plants, utilities plants, anywhere where they want to improve operationally in a really term. Then what we call strategic, we're starting to look at how we want to change the world or change our business. And then transformational is really then how do we want to like become a market leader and become competitive advantage. So some of the words that we find when our customers are speaking to us, they say, Shawn, I'd like to know about data warehousing. How can you help me set up a data warehouse, bring my data from various sources? So those are some of the services that we offer for clients, is data warehousing. The next one would be data integration. How do we bring different sources of data together? How do we bring components of those sources together and make sure that that's working well for us? Then data analytics is a key word that people would want to ask for. So a lot of the times when we work as with the data, we do both. We do the tool and basically the services, and that's where the magic recipe comes. If you do either one of them, you're not going to be successful. And then the last one is the data sciences. How do we create machine learning algorithms that work for us, that predict the right thing at the right time? So that's really what OQLIS is in a nutshell. I hope this thing was very informative. If there's anything else that you guys would want me to know, be in contact, and I'll really be more than willing to help and make sure that you are a fay with what we go. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that made sense. Thank you. Bye-bye.